Hey guys, just Chanel here. So I wanted to make a video about the flight attendant application process and the video interview. I know that a lot of the airlines have opened up their applications and they do this a few times a year. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that are kind of in the same boat that I was in a few months ago. I applied for a few different airlines back in July. It is now November, and so I've gone through the video interview process as well as the face-to-face interview process, which I'll save for another video. But I'm pretty excited, and I just kind of want to help everybody who is about to go through this. It requires a lot of patience, and I know that when I first started, I was on YouTube, Glassdoor, Indeed. I mean, I was searching everything on Google, just trying to figure out how, I could do my best. So I studied a lot, and I just wanted to share some tips with you all as to how you can get further in the process. The most important thing though is no matter how much you study, you have to be yourself throughout this entire process. The best person that you can be is yourself. I mean, everybody else is already taken, so you might as well just be you. So I wanted to start off by saying apply for a lot of different airlines. That's what I did. I recommend it because even if you just want to work for one airline, it's great to get the experience. In my case, I applied for a few different airlines and I actually got something back from all of them. So I completed several different video interviews. The airline I really wanted to work for was actually the last one to get back to me. So I had a few different video interviews before even completing the video interview for the airline that I wanted to work for. That was really good because I was able to practice. I was able to see how the whole video interview process goes. And that's really beneficial because although every airline kind of stands for something different, the process itself is kind of the same. You find out, how much time you get to answer the questions or how much time you have to prepare, what kind of questions they're going to ask you. Let's start with the application process itself. So number one, just apply for a lot of different airlines. It'll give you the experience, like even if you go to a face-to-face interview for an airline that you don't necessarily really want to work for, you're still able to see how you need to mingle. I mean, it'll benefit you either way. Number two, when you do the application, make sure you read everything. A lot of people, I think, were asking, like, the airlines generally ask you about your education experience, your full work history, and a lot of people are just kind of like, do I have to put my everything on there? Yes, you do. Like, take your time. This may take a few hours. You may have some assessments to fill out. Well, you will have some assessments to fill out. And so, don't just go into this like, oh, I'm gonna fill out this application real quick as if it's something for McDonald's. Not it. Like, it's not gonna just take you. It's not just putting your name and your address and where you last worked and where you graduated from. Like, it's more than that, So give yourself some time, prepare, set aside some time to really complete it. The application process will also ask you to update, documents that will help the like HR people determine if you are the best candidate, such as a resume, a cover letter, references, things like that. So make sure you kind of prepare those things in advance. I wanted to touch on the whole resume thing a little bit. There's somebody coming down the hallway. I don't want them to think I'm talking to myself. Okay, so this is my resume. I just recently completed my face-to-face interview, so I have it in this report cover along with some other documents that I actually had prepared before I even applied. When I decided I was going to apply for the flight attendant positions, I went ahead and updated my resume to fit that position. I, you know, called all my references and said, hey, I'm going to apply for this job just to let you know. So you may be giving you, is it okay if I still use you as a reference on top of, you know, you may be getting a call from them. I also updated my cover letter to fit the company. And then something that I've always done when I apply for jobs is have like a accomplishment slash volunteer list. So basically all the things that I volunteered for in my adult life, as well as, you know, just different awards that I've won, even in school, or like things like being on the dean's list and, you know, peer mentoring. So I'm going to just kind of give y'all a rundown of the whole resume thing. If you want to send me your resume to my email address, you're more than welcome to do that. My email address is chanelrenexoxo@gmail.com. That's ChanelRenNXoXo@gmail.com. So send me your resume, send me your cover letters, and I'll read them over and really just give you my honest opinion. I mean, I'm no expert, but I've kind of gotten every job that I've ever applied for. And I always make my resume my own, which sounds weird, but as you can see, my resume is on pink paper. Now, I'm not saying do this at all, but literally since I've graduated from high school, every job that I've applied for, I've put my resume on this pink paper. And I got this, I want to say, from like Legally Blonde. And this is resume paper. It's not just like pink paper. It's actually resume paper. And I spray it with perfume. And I just think it shows my personality. Now, if this is not you, like if you don't love pink and you don't love being girly, and or if you're a guy, I don't suggest you doing this. You know, put it on regular resume paper. But that's another thing. Let's make sure it's on resume paper. I've always put my resumes and other documents in a report cover. I am super organized, and I wouldn't want somebody just handing me papers because I'm afraid they're going to get dirty. I like to eat a lot of snacks. I may be eating a granola bar while I'm looking at your resume, and I'd rather it be in some sort of report cover. For this particular job, I've never done this before, but I put a little photo of me just because with the face-to-face interview, I mean, it's going to be a few, you know, it's going to be like a group of people there. And I want them to be able to put my face with my name. So it's just something that I did. I thought it was pretty cool. So to start off, you want to make sure that your objective on your resume and your qualification summary is something that fits the position. Like, you know, if it's all customer service, but you want to use things that are really going to let the interviewer know that you are the best candidate, such as making sure that you're patient, making sure you communicate well, that you're concerned with the comfort of the guest, making sure that you care about safety is like one of the most important things with a flight attendant position. I'm also trying to see what else, like working as a team. So all of these are things that are important just in customer service, and that's exactly what being a flight attendant is. It's providing exceptional customer service to your passengers. So you want to make sure that your resume, you know, displays those different skills. As well as, let's see, make sure you have all of your education and training on there. Of course, your work history. And another thing I noticed that a lot of people make a mistake of doing is making the resume several pages or just putting way too much on the resume. You know, I definitely would say that there is plenty of space on the application to type everything that you ever want to let these people know about you. But your resume needs to be one page, okay? One page. They don't need to be reading a book, you know, or let me not say that because it seems like a book. But, you know, they don't need, it's not like an essay. Your resume should not be an essay. Anyway, so then my second page is my cover letter. I'm not a big expert on cover letters, but you pretty much just want to let them know why you are the best for this particular company, how you can asset their company, why you are valuable for them. And then this is I call it the Interest Activities Awards and Volunteers Experience page. So it pretty much has everything in there that I've ever done. Things like, for instance, for this job, if you're CPR first aid certified, say that, you know what I mean? It lets them know, okay, you already, even if it needs to be renewed, like you're already experienced, you've already gone through that training, so when you have to do it again, it's gonna click. And then my last page is just my references. I don't want this video to be super long, but I just want to make sure y'all are prepared. So let's get down to the video interview. The video interview, you are going to be answering questions. You're not going to be, generally you will not be talking directly to a person. You're going to be recording yourself and then submitting those answers. You have a certain amount of time to prepare for the questions, and then they give you a certain amount of time to answer the question. Now, my recommendation is to go on places like Glassdoor. Look at example questions. Everyone's questions are not going to be the same, so I can't tell you what your questions will be. But what I will say is think about behavioral and situational questions. So things such as, you know, if you were in this situation, what would you do? Also study different formats as to how to answer these questions. What I did when I first wanted to start this whole process, I went to, I think it was like Marshalls or TJ Maxx, and I went and bought this cute little notebook. I'm like a planner, notebook type of girl. So I said, you know, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to study. And hopefully this is the notebook that I'm able to use for training as well. So like only the first few pages are actual notes. But I wrote down every single question that I found on Glassdoor and Google and Indeed and all those different places. I wrote down every single question and wrote my answers to those questions. So when the video interview came, I felt like I was thoroughly prepared for what, you know, was coming my way. When they give you the question and they give you some time to prepare the answer, I was like, oh, you know, this question was on my paper, and I had my little notepad. I mean, you know, use your resources wisely. Like, you have your notepad, you know, I wouldn't say have it right here in your lap while you're doing your video interview, but maybe have it off to the side on a desk or something so you can kind of just glance over at your notes before it's time to answer the question. Also, with doing the video interview, you want to dress professionally. You pretend that this is a real interview. Like, I wore a skirt suit for my video interview. I made sure that there was a blank background behind me. I just sat like at a wall in my house in a nice chair. I made sure the lighting was good. You know, I had my nails painted, had my hair done. I had my hair back actually in like a low bun. I had a watch on. What else? I made sure my clothes were ironed, like, so this prepared me because it kind of made me feel better, like I was really at the job, like as if I was really sitting in front of somebody coming down the hallway again. Okay, so I know I've talked your ears off, but I want y'all to be prepared. Please leave comments below if you have any questions. Follow me on Instagram at Coco_ReneeXOXO. I'll leave all the information in the description box on my social media. And just one last thing, like, if you're really dedicated to this, reward yourself. Like, when you get past these different, because it's going to be a process, like, you have to be patient, but I'm all about rewarding myself. So when I found out that I got that video interview, wow, I mean, this cost me $5.99, you know. I just said, let me go get something that I feel will kind of motivate me a little bit. Go get your notepad. Go get something that you feel will motivate you. Set yourself up for success. I'm all about that. Like, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe, like this video, leave me comments, ask me questions. I'm all for it.